Chad?
Meg, thanks. Dr. Peter Hotez, now co-director of the Center for Vaccine Development at Texas Children's Hospital. He's a pediatrician. Doctor, thanks as always. Ohio warning that along with COVID, winter viruses spiking among kids. It's only August. How concerned should parents be?
Yeah, Shepard, I think it's because the kids weren't able to interact with one another for a long time during all of the disruption, and so this created populations of kids who didn't have natural immunity to things like respiratory syncytial virus. So what you're seeing now in pediatric hospitalizations are lots of co-infections with COVID and RSV, and even severe RSV, especially among the younger kids. And unfortunately, now we're heading into para-influenza, then influenza season. So as if things weren't complicated enough, right? But we've got this now steep acceleration of COVID-19 across the South. And unfortunately, this has picked up steam and has a really high force of infection. So I'm quite worried for the nation right now on what's going to come as schools continue to open.
We'll watch it. Dr. Oregon, bringing back mask mandates for outdoor events, vaccinated or not, when you can't socially distance regardless. Is there some sort of data that shows outdoors is dangerous all of a sudden?
Well, it's not that outdoors is dangerous. It depends what you're doing. I think, if you're exercising or if you're walking in the neighborhood, it's probably fine to be without a mask. But if you're in crowded conditions outside, this is pretty highly transmissible. So certainly any kind of sporting event, music event, you would not want to go in there without a mask. And we're going to have to readjust, Shepard, because now we're learning, from what's happening in Israel, what the full-on force of the Delta variant is like. And, unfortunately, we're only 51% fully vaccinated as a country. And so we failed. We were looking really good in March and April, and then everything kind of shut down in many regions of the country, like in the South. And so now you've got only 30-40% of the adults vaccinated in the South, and you see what happens. And Delta is just ripping through it, and so many young people are being hospitalized. The big question now is how we get through this as a nation. Are things going to be so accelerated right now that we're going to see this tear through the rest of the country? We're now realizing with the variant that this transmissible, we have to get to 85, maybe, as Tony Fauci said, 90% of the country vaccinated. That's not 85, 90% of the adults. That's 85, 90% of the country. It means all of the adults and all of the adolescents, if we're really going to get past this. And this is why he's giving these extended time frames before we get out of COVID-19. It's not anything magical about the time. It's when we've got so many people refusing, how are we going to get to those high numbers?
A problem of our own making. Dr. Hotez, thank you. Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.